We have the quarterfinals. Some surprises? Yes, but very excited. Welcome to the recap. Fluminense versus Al-Hilal. Is this the Cinderella story coming to an end, or will Al-Hilal advance?
The brackets are even, but that side of the bracket is just much easier as a route to get to the final.
Chelsea to the final, or what?
It could be, but if anybody can bottle it, it's Chelsea.
They got that Arsenal DNA with that. But let's go back to the Brazilians versus the Saudis. The Saudis versus the Brazilians. Who do you got for this?
I got I got Al Hilal advancing, but not in a dominant way. I think it'll be a very back and forth match.
I think Fluminense is going to advance. Al Hilal had a great performance against Man City because of the way the Man City plays. Man City gets hurt in the counters. And Fluminense and Al Hilal are more equal, more even when it comes to the level of players they have. It's going to be a back and forth. It's not going to be where Fluminense has most of the possession and that they get hurt in the counters. Like they're going to go back and forth at each other, and it's going to be very tight. But I see a Fluminense winning 2-1, 3-1.
It's interesting. I got Al Hilal winning 2-0.
Now we're going to go to another Brazilian team, Palmeiras. Many people didn't think they were going to be Botafogo. They did. And then you have Chelsea. What you've been saying, if any team's going to bottle it in these quarterfinals, is going to be Chelsea.
It's a nice little Cinderella run for Palmeiras. Nobody had them going this far. Didn't have them getting out of their group stage. If I'm a betting man, I'm betting on Chelsea. They just have too many quality players to lose to a team like Palmeiras.
And they probably own half of Palmeiras anyways. Palmeiras is a great team and they had a great run, but Chelsea is too much. I don't see this being so one-sided. I do see being a very competitive match. I'm going to give it to Chelsea 1-0, 2-1, because I also don't believe big in Chelsea. I'm going to give it like 2-1 Chelsea or 1-0 Chelsea.
The fact that I don't trust Chelsea, I could see this going many ways. You could see a 3-1 for Chelsea if they're on their best day, but you could see this going to penalty. You could see them losing. You just don't know what to expect with them.
Real Madrid versus Dortmund. The revenge of the Champions League final.
I was most excited for was ruined by a referee. We were going to see Jude Bellingham versus Joe Bellingham. That would have been a phenomenal match in the midfield.
It would have been awesome to see the brothers go at it. I think this is a tricky game. I don't think it's as straightforward as a lot of Real Madrid fans think. I think it's a little tricky game in the fact that if Dortmund's forwards are on it, like they were on it against Barcelona, like he was on it against Monterrey, it's going to be tricky, especially with that defense that Rudiger's not fully there. Trent's not really a defender, so you're only defending with 2.5 men. Not the show, Manny. It's a great show, but you're only defending with 2.5 men. On the other side, Real Madrid could do a statement match and score 2 to 3 goals. I don't see that happening. I do see a very competitive game for the first half, but then the second half, I see Dortmund getting tired and Real Madrid just taking over, unless Dortmund do score a couple of early goals.
The thing about Madrid is they go as Vini goes. If Vinny has a stinker, you could see a very tight match. Maybe Madrid pulls it off, just off of being Madrid, 1-0, 1-2-1, something of the sort. But when Vinny is playing the way that Vinny can play, Madrid they look dominant. And about the defense, they haven't really faced a tough opponent that they need to show their defensive power, but they've held down Juventus they held Al Hilal to 1 goal. These are teams that were scoring on Man City. Al Hilal, put up those 4 goals on City. And I don't think their defense is as bad as people claim it to be. And I don't think Trent has been getting cooked, but you can see that defense is not his strong suit.
Mm-hmm.
But I think this will be a great test. I don't think Guirassy will be in Dortmund for too long. That man is showing that he's a legit striker.
And that's what I'm saying. If he's on, it's going to be a very interesting match. But let's go to the match, the most exciting match from the quarterfinals, or will it be the most exciting match in the quarterfinals? Paris Saint-Germain versus Bayern Munich. This should, in theory, be the best game, the most exciting game we get. Two powerhouses. We're gonna call PSG a powerhouse. They ganged it
Bro, the
as they
PSG
won
is
the
a super
Champions League.
team.
It's a super team, a super loaded team with money, but we're gonna call them a powerhouse. Two powerhouse teams going at it. This should be a delight of a game.
This is going to be the best game of the of this round, probably of the tournament. And, let's see if Bayern can find a way to come away with a win, but I do see PSG advancing, maybe like a 3-1, 3-2.
Bayern has really good players, but Luis Enrique has created a system in PSG where you can put any player in any position and they do a great job. He doesn't set them up to fail. Plus, PSG, they're young players, very physically dominant. They're led by Luis Enrique, who has convinced all these players that, hey, if you run, you pressure, you do good passes, we are eventually going to win and we're eventually going to dominate. And that's what they do. We haven't seen the PSG that's gotten tired yet. In the Champions League final, at some points they got tired. So it's going to be very interesting to see if they can go the full way, the way they play, because if they do, they're going to dominate the game. But if they don't, Bayern will have some chances. And that's where Bayern, with the Kane that can score from anywhere, can capitalize.
To Luis Enrique's credit, you saw that clip of him talking to Mbappe, telling him that a real leader works hard both ways. He told him,
Right.
Michael Jordan could score on anybody, but he could also lock anybody up. He was trying to get the best of Mbappe. Maybe Mbappe wasn't feeling it. Maybe it was his ego. I don't know what was going on, but he is proving that he was right. If you press, if you run for 90 minutes, you give it your all, if you back up your teammates, you should pull away with wins. And
Yep.
it's working for them.
So what's your scoreline, Manny?
I got PSG going 4-2.
That's actually my scoreline. Yeah, I can see that happening, especially the fact that PSG, they don't even have to play a perfect game. If they keep playing the way they play with their system, they should have it in the bag. It's not going to be an easy game because you do have a high caliber team like Bayern, but PSG right now just shows that they're the best club in the world. They're very dominant. What can you do? It's their time. I like Bayern, and Bayern's always in the mix, but not right now, especially not against this PSG.
PSG plays hard, they play fast, they don't let you breathe, they just keep attacking you. And it wears teams out, and they have youngsters, even their veterans like Hakimi, Donnarumma,
Hmm.
Dembele, they're not old. They're a very
Exactly.
fast team.
Well, hopefully you enjoy this video. If you do, make sure to like, share, subscribe. Make sure to send this video to anybody. I mean, anybody with some or zero ball knowledge. See you here next video.